It's time for change. The system's fucking broke. These pussies clutch their pearls because of harmless fucking jokes.
We should just ignore it. It's not hurting anything.
Or should we lock them up and throw away the key? Fuck no! Free Dankula! Free Dankula! The bullshit's gone on far too long. Dankula did nothing wrong. Free Dankula! Free Dankula!
My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is, and so I thought I would turn them into the least cute thing that I could think of, which is a Nazi. I'm not a racist, by the way, I just really wanted to piss her off.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lesser Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show for the YouTube Saints. Oh, fuck you, Fat Pat and Sophane. Sophane, you follow me on Twitter. I saw that you read my message. We wanted you on to have a nice talk. But now I gotta say fuck you and your spiky fucking sunglasses. The Lesser Saints of Discord is the pre-show to the YouTube Saints, and we have a smaller target crowd than a small village. YouTube Saints start around 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Waffle, any announcements on the mod section?
As before, I'm still playing around with getting our robot overlords set up and everything. Don't worry, Skynet's not coming quickly. You'll see plenty of warning, but just working on it, playing with bots, make mod things a little easier for the mod team, make things a little more fun for a lot of the users. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with. As is, I'm thinking of tossing in, you know, a dragon for you to play with. It'll be fun.
I did notice Jeff and Nick trying to jack our style a little bit by putting themselves behind the news desk on the midweek show.
I know, it's almost like I have good ideas and then get other people to Photoshop it for me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened with this news desk, by the
way. No. This is 100% original. It's our own idea entirely.
Oh, it was original. Yeah. It's just I outsourced the labor on it. I called in a favor, shall we say?
Well, that's it. Well, that's the art of capitalism, especially if you pay. Speaking of which, Alchemic Gator, we still need to talk about that banner.
I think we still need to talk about sexual favors too, because that's. Oh wait, we were going in a different direction with that. Never mind. Nothing to see here. Definitely no launch codes. Don't worry
I mean, I suck a mean dick, but I also have money. So if Gator can choose.
I mean, money's money, but you know, I come from the Brock Sampson school of when poker's fun to play, which is when the stakes are somewhere ranging from sexual favors to launch codes.
Ooh. Alright. Nice little Venture Bros reference there. Alright, so you just want to hop into our first news story?
Yeah, I would like to be a little bit more drunk for this, but we might revisit it later in the show, but, yeah, also fair warning to everybody who's listening, I, like, just dropping the facade and real talk here, I'm drinking a bit more heavily than I generally do, and Jables knows how much that is, so I'm a bit of a lightweight.
Yeah.
This is going to go downhill very quickly.
Waffle measured it out in a quite the large measuring cup.
I skipped the shot glasses and all that. Just went straight for a measuring cup. So yeah, there's a lot of rum going on here. Yarhar fiddle-dee-dee, being a pirate's alright with me. But here's the important bit. Those of you who are wearing headphones, I will try to warn you. I will try to remember, but a lot of you, I don't think, have ever really seen me actually shouting angry. Like, you've seen me raised voice, incensed, excited, all these various things. But I don't think you've ever really seen me shouting angry. I will try to remember to turn down my mic volume. I will try to remember to warn you. But be aware, somewhere in this show, I'm probably going to start yelling a lot. So, yeah, no, anyway, you have that to look forward to. Just don't let me kill your eardrums. Alright, I'm gonna switch this over to the magic. Boom! Cutouts! Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Studio mode's so cool. Excuse me. God, I'm not even like I'm not even a quarter of the way into this, and I'm still... Oh, boy, this is gonna be fun. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about something very important that happened this past week, and I'm definitely talking about pugs. And before we get into anything else about pugs, I quite like pugs. Pugs are kind of interesting little dogs. Because the funny thing about them is people think, like, oh, pugs are these great examples of how we've, as humans, have genetically altered wolves into these strange little pets, and they seem like they're just this far-end version of it, but they're kind of not. Pugs are actually a very old dog breed, or at least they have a very old lineage. They come from the dog breed that those really crazy, scary-ass-looking statues in China are based on, like the Fu dogs. Those, while heavily stylized, are based on an old Chinese breed, and pugs are a descendant of that, so they're really just kind of that miniaturized and with a little bit more smushed noses. But they're old. They're really interesting. Cool history to dig into. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the one that's a Nazi. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take that away, Jables. Boom, look at that. Britain's joke war. The pug and Count Dankula. Oh, God. Why? Jables, that's your cue. You go ahead. Oh, God, he's not talking. What have I done? Did I mute him? I don't think I muted him. He's not in the call. He just... Oh, his internet died. Well, shit, I'm carrying this by myself for now, so here's hoping he pops in. So, I'm going to drag this out a bit for those listening. Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm about to smash the table a few times, so I'm going to move the drink so I don't spill it. So, I'm going to drag this out so Jables has time to, get back in. I'm going to go ahead and, make his little icon disappear. Look at that. He's gone. What a sad day this is. I would have turned it upside down, but that takes a little bit too much work. But all of you know this is what fucking happened. Count Dankula got sentenced for a joke. Or, sorry, convicted. I don't know if the sentence has actually been passed down yet. Well, let's go ahead and scroll down through this. I'll scroll back up when Jables gets in so he can do it fresh. Jables, come back. I love you. I didn't mean it. I don't know what made you run away from me, so... Alright. In 1941, a German vice consul in Nazi-friendly Finland reported a suspicious act. A dog had reportedly mocked the Fuhrer. By the way, if anyone's a follower of Vernaculus, he did a bit about this. It was quite good. And is that a Jables I hear? Is he back? Can he save me?
Yes, I'm fucking back. Sorry, my internet has been acting like shit today.
It has. So we just got to that first paragraph of the thing while I was lamenting your loss and possibly sobbing. No one tell him anything. But that first bit of the whole bit about German vice consul in Nazi-friendly Finland finding out about a dog that had mocked the Fuhrer and all that. This is something that was also covered by Vernaculus. If you like Vernaculus, which I do. I think he's really fucking good.
The reason why I chose this article in particular is because it referenced his situation in the past where a dog was making fun of Hitler. That's the sole reason why I chose this article.
Mm-hmm. So please, by all means, take it away. I haven't gotten to the right level of incoherent rage.
Alright, you only covered the first paragraph?
Barely even. Just go ahead, we're sitting on it right now. I mean, we can scroll back up to the pug if you want. I mean, look at how cute that fucking pug is. Let's go back to... Go ahead.
Yeah, looks like he just wants to shake hands, right?
I think he's looking for his friend Kyle. Have you seen Kyle? He's about yay high. Have you seen Kyle?
Yeah.
I actually have a friend named Kyle who has blonde hair and one blue eye. We're not going to talk about the other one, but it's close enough. And he's exactly he's exactly the right height for me to do that. So I've done it accidentally where I'll say something just like, "Hey, have you met Kyle? Like, have you seen my friend Kyle? He's about yay high. Seen Kyle?" God damn it! That has happened more times than I would care to admit. But by all means, Jables, please continue. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Is he gone again? No, you're still here. You're just not talking. I feel like I should start a countdown here, or at least a counting gag on screen of how many times Jables has left. What? Oh, he's here! He's here! We're good.
Yeah, am I back? Am I back?
You're back! You're back! I don't think you ever disconnected.
Well, okay, shit. Well,
if you'd lived in the UK, I'd be assuming you'd be being censored, but, no, you don't live there.
No, I live in the US, and there's a bunch of fucking kids outside because they got fucking laser tag now. God damn it.
You're attacking the homeboys to laser tag. And go ahead.
Yeah. We have a real problem with shootings in this neighborhood. So essentially, what this article talks about is Count Dankula, which I'm sure you all are aware of, where he was arrested for a fucking joke. And I have huge problems with this because I'm a very, very large free speech advocate. The only things I don't advocate for with free speech are things that will cause violence. Like, hey, everybody, let's go beat up that guy. And shit like that. Yelling fire in a crowded theater, I'm not for that because that can cause panic. Things that, like, cause mass panic, that can cause violence, that can cause people to get hurt, I'm not necessarily for. I think you should still say them. It's a weird gray area for me. Context matters. Let's put it that way. But the court decided that context does not fucking matter in Count Dankula's case. The court decided that Count Dankula is an anti-Semite. He is the first ever recorded court-appointed fucking anti-Semite. My rage about this case makes me want to cry, but I'm holding that in for this show.
So, I have to note, one of the things I say here, going a few paragraphs down, is that, so they say, like, okay, so Count Dankula was joking via the established comedy technique of incongruousness. Pug's nearly the sweetest and most innocent of God's creatures. Hitler was among the most evil of men who ever lived. It's incongruous for a pug to be a Nazi, and incongruousness can be funny. Now, it's worth noting if this had been done with a Chihuahua, like, I would believe that, because Chihuahuas are spiteful little creatures. But a pug. Pugs are adorable, and even if you don't like them, even if you think they're ugly in an extremely goofy way. Like, you look at a pug, and you're just like, how are you alive? How do you exist other than to be the butt of jokes and to be either loved and coddled or laughed at?
Well, I mean, pugs have bad enough balance when you look at them on four legs. The fact that he got one to hold a single paw up and still stand is amazing.
Yeah, give him a fucking medal for dog training. Point is, incongruousness is it's this whole idea of, okay, so like, pretty much every joke out there has like three sort of elements to it. Like, I mean, there's more, you could get all into like theory of humor and all that, but here's the important bit. Every joke has to have basically two things. First, it's got to be surprising in some respect. Second, it's got to have truth to it. All right?
Yes, so let's not forget that Dankula prefaced this whole video by saying that his girlfriend thinks the dog is the cutest thing in the world, and he wants to make it the ugliest thing that he could think of, which is a Nazi.
I mean,
that's fucking context, fucking people.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, you wanna convict this guy for having a not funny joke? Like, convict him for explaining the joke. Okay, there you go. Okay, fine. Crimes against humor, explaining the joke. Fuck it. Okay, fine. But this is one of those things about humor. You mix these things up. This is why this is why shock humor is a thing. This is why dead baby jokes work, because technically speaking, they're true. If I ask you what's worse than 10 dead babies nailed to a tree, and I say, and you ask, well, what? And I say, well, 1 dead baby nailed to 10 trees. It's shocking because you didn't think of it first, probably. Well, someone's told you a joke. And then it's also true that, yes, that would probably be worse.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a Ferrari? I don't have a fucking Ferrari in my garage.
Again, shock value, and I mean, maybe not exactly truth to that one, but still, there's something you can grab onto there. This is the problem when people talk about racist jokes. Racist jokes that have absolutely no grounding in reality aren't fucking funny, because they don't make sense. You know, it's like, if you make a joke about a stereotype that isn't part of that stereotype, it doesn't work. No one laughs because they don't get it, because there's nothing to get. Right? Point is, you need these two things. Here's the thing with the pug. Okay, you have a cute ass fucking pug, and then you have the least cute ever. I don't care about all of you people who are saying that Hitler is the best waifu. You're fucking wrong. But sure, whatever. All right. Point is, Hitler doesn't look like a pug. Pug doesn't look like Hitler. You don't look at a pug and think, this guy's going to kill lots of Jews. You don't look at this guy like a pug and think, this guy's going to, you know, dominate Germany and then start, you know, wanting more and conquering fucking Europe. You don't look at the pug and think, this guy's got an ideology that's going to just fucking wreak havoc and make him possibly the single most influential person in history, you know, that has a fucking game on Wikipedia called 3 Clicks to Hitler, because you can do it from almost any article because he's that fucking influential to world history. No! Nothing like a pug. So, shock value. Surprise. Great. Fantastic.
Not only that.
How do you not get the joke?
Count Dankula only had about 10 subscribers at the time when he posted that video. And it was just his friends. He was just shitposting, and he was just showing it to his friends. It just happened to go viral. But that doesn't change anything. The fact of the matter is, if they're going to arrest Count Dankula, they need to arrest Frankie Boyle. They need to arrest John Cleese. They need to arrest every other famous... They need to arrest the entire Monty Python cast.
And not for the fucking ending of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because that was funny as shit.
Yes. But they need to arrest him for Life of Brian.
I disagree. Life of Brian was goddamn hilarious.
It was goddamn hilarious.
Conjugate the fucking verb, Jables.
So was Count Dankula's video. I thought that was fucking hilarious, because I'm into that dark humor type shit. Okay? And I'm down. Have you guys ever looked up Kittler on the internet?
I have, actually.
It's a little cat. Looks like Hitler. It's fucking adorable.
Right,
but it has like this little black spot that's surrounded by white around its right underneath its nose that looks like a little Hitler mustache.
I'm gonna drop my energy level a little bit. We're barely even into this article, but I'm gonna drop my energy level a little bit here and just kind of explain. Not even explain. I'm gonna just fucking come at this from my inner SJW, because everyone's got a little bit of that, you know, pissed off, outraged person about inane bullshit, right? But let's play let's play some fucking identity politics. Okay, what is this offensive to? Well, on the nose of it, what is it mocking? Nazis? Okay, well, I'm not a Nazi, but apparently they don't care. Apparently mocking Nazis isn't allowed, but they think it's gonna be offensive to the Jews. Oh no. Well, and guess fucking what? All right. I am a Jew. I don't practice it. I'm Jewish, quote unquote. You know, I love the food, you know, but by heritage, I fucking am. I have family who died in the Holocaust. If anyone gets to be offended about this joke, it's me. I'm not. I thought it was funny. How fucking dare you speak for me?
I'm also Jewish, but anyways, no. What they did, another thing that they did in this whole case that fucking pisses me the fuck off, is the cops went to, without having anybody say that they were offended by this, they went to one guy that was the leader of, it's like the Jewish Council of Scotland or whatever. They went to this one guy. It's the same guy that they go to every time that they think offense might be taken, and they asked him, "Are you offended by this?" And he said, "Sure, I guess." And then they said, "Will you file a report saying that you're offended by this?" And he said, "Okay." The problem wasn't necessarily that somebody was offended. The problem is that the police thought it might be offensive, then went to somebody that was in authority over this entire group of people. Keep in mind, Count Dankula has a massive following in Israel. Just throwing that out there.
Now, hold on a moment. One thing I do have to bring up here is it says here that, apparently Dank is annoying. I don't find him annoying. I find him quite funny. But even, I know people who I find annoying. And you know what? They're also funny sometimes. When they start to annoy me, I either tell them or walk away. It's not really that big a deal. But hey, so in Britain, that's against the law. Section 127 of the Communications Act, quoting from the article here, of 2003, declares it illegal intentionally to cause annoyance, inconvenience, or cause annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety to another with online posts. Okay, great. Intentionally!
UK laws are as vague as YouTube guidelines.
That's not fucking vague. That's intent. That requires intent. You go up there and you say, "Did you intend to cause annoyance?" He goes up there and says, "No." Case fucking closed.
But see, context and intent don't matter according to that judge.
Yeah, according to
And
that judge, but not
listen,
according to
listen,
their own
listen,
fucking laws!
Leslie Maxwell, I see you in the fucking chat. I hope you move to America, my buddy. That's
Yeah, do it. We'll
get the
hang out. It'll be fun.
fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. I can get you a job. All right. All right. You can come live in Seattle.
I can get you a job. A hand job. I mean, it's probably going to be a sad one, but fuck, dude. I could do it.
I can get you a job that will give you a living wage.
I mean, everyone's got their price. Mine's somewhere between a Long Island iced tea and, you know, a house in the fucking Hamptons. But, you know.
Yeah.
I got some range to me.
I wish the cartel bar was still open in my neighborhood. Never mind. Well, no, I've had an issue in my local neighborhood. There's a bar that was run by a Mexican cartel. I was open for a long time. It recently, just a few months ago, got shut down by the FBI.
Hey, if you
And
walked
the
in there with
DEA.
a pug that fucking Nazi saluted whenever you said Sieg Heil, do you think they'd laugh or do you think they'd beat your ass?
They'd fucking laugh, depending on how tan you were at the time.
Yeah, see, there you go. Even the cartels are okay with this.
Yeah, you could allegedly buy cocaine at the bar with your credit card, and they would charge it as drinks, allegedly. But a problem that I'm running into in my local neighborhood is ever since they got shut down by the FBI.
I just realized that
a
Jables has
lot
been a
of-
ghost all this time. He's back on the stream. I remembered to put his image back in. Don't worry,
Well,
Jables.
a lot of-
You're corporeal now, kind of. Go ahead.
A lot of small town gangs have started filling up the vacuum that the cartel left. So I kind of wish that cartel was back because they were nice and they made good Mexican food. It was delicious.
I
Not
wish
that I
that
ever hung out
cartel
at
was
that
back.
bar.
They were nice. Jables 2018.
Yeah, and they kept all the little shit gangs out. So, allegedly, supposedly. You know what? Let's just move on to the next article.
I just want to say that is suspiciously similar to the attitude that a lot of Rhode Islanders have about the mob, considering that they tried to elect Buddy Cianci back to the position of it was either mayor or governor, but they tried to elect him from prison. Considering that he had been imprisoned for fucking corruption, and they tried to elect him again.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a part of the group that did a lot of reporting to get the cartel out of the neighborhood. However, I didn't recognize the vacuum that they would have left for other gangs to step in.
You didn't
And now
understand
we're
the ramifications of your actions. Actions have consequences, Jables. God, how dare you get rid of a cartel?
I didn't realize that the cartel was actually keeping this neighborhood pretty fucking safe. That's
Now you got kids outside playing laser tag. What does this universe come to?
I
say universe because the cartel's gone. They're in the 2D universe now. That's just how it is. They're on pictures now.
Yeah, we've had 3 people being shot dead within the last month. So let's not get into that. Let's
And
go to
kids
the
are
next
still playing
story.
laser tag. What a strange. Those kids need to learn some
Yeah.
self-preservation. Anyway.
Well, they do have good trade control. I checked it out. They're fine.
Oh, good for them. That's great. All right, fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Mickey D's.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to Dank because after all this other stuff, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through all this other stuff, which I have no idea what the hell we're doing, and that's all gonna lighten my mood probably. And I'm gonna come back to Dank, and I'm gonna get honest to goodness fucking angry.
Also, add us as friends on Discord and/or hop into VC1 in the Saints Discord, and we may or may not pull you in.
We don't have a fucking guest tonight, so like, you want it? Hey, maybe it'll happen. Just try hard.
Add us as friends and throw us a message. But after we get through the news stories, at least.
Yeah. So
I think these news stories are gonna last us through.
Time for some Mickey D's nuts. I'll vote for that.
Yeah.
2020 D's nuts.
So,
2020.
so this is down in Oregon.
I might vote for
Somebody
Ron
in
Paul in
Discord is moving to
2019,
Oregon
but
soon.
only if I'm trying to kill myself with in an elaborate suicide that involves hanging myself in the air with a parachute and a crotchless fursuit. All I'm gonna say about that.
I do have to say, the name of the guy that does this is Jedediah Ezekiel Fulton.
Jedediah Ezekiel Fulton?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'm showing it on screen. So all we have is dissatisfied McDonald's customers attacks Golden Arches, police say. All I can imagine from what you've just told me there is that this guy just, like, ran up there and was like, "Thou shalt not have other gods before me! Idolaters!" He started, like, hacking apart the fucking McDonald's thing and, like, shouting his name, like, "I am Ezekiel Jedediah whatever!" And just, yeah, no, I want that. Please, somebody make a movie out of this, please.
What happened with this guy is he ordered 30 double cheeseburgers and they refused to fill it.
You need to go to White Castle.
I don't know what the audience sees, but if you scroll past the golden arches that are at the top, there's a picture of this guy with
my God,
beautiful ginger neck beard.
I mean, that guy looks like a prophet right out of fucking scripture.
Oh yeah,
with his head and face aflame with the righteous fury of God. I don't fucking know.
He looks like a Jedediah. Let's put it that way.
He looks like a Jedediah. How many wives do you think he has?
3.
How many of them are his daughters?
4.
You know, I'd say that's not how math works, except I believe you.
Well, no, he's just engaged to the 4th.
Yeah, she's new. And you know what? For some reason, all through this show, I've been getting, like, flashbacks of The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Anyone who hasn't read that book, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's good. Also, strongly recommend doing an audiobook because the main character's Russian and the reader reads the entire fucking book in a Russian accent, and it's awesome.
Nice.
You may not think it's difficult.
So,
sorry. It's a really, really good book, and it does talk about... So I guess, fuck it, we're doing my impromptu book recommendation for the week. Read The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Robert Heinlein, classic of sci-fi. One of the most interesting delves into a war for independence between the moon and Earth. I guarantee you Brianna Wu read fucking The Moon is a Harsh Mistress was like, oh my god, this is a possibility! And then, also, really interesting stuff about the social structures of the moon, considering how harsh a moon, like, colony would be, society-wise. And then stuff about demographics, like what happens when you radically fuck with the balance between male and female in a society. And just a really, really interesting stuff. Cool book, worth a read, you'll have fun, enjoy it. Back to Jedediah!
Jedediah, yeah, he was denied, his fucking order of 30 double cheeseburgers. And what he decided to do is freak the fuck out, he started tearing down banners, and then tried to take down the golden arches themselves.
I really, really want to believe.
I haven't read the full article, but I don't know how he tried to take them down.
The full article is... We could just read it out. This is a short one.
Wait, hold on. No, hold on. Serene Kusi, I said nothing about Brianna Wu. And no, I don't think she can read.
I said many things about Brianna Wu. Which one are you referring to?
Yeah, that's Waffle talking about Brianna Wu.
Alright, where is this, Serdi? The world needs more Heinlein, I agree. Screw you, Waffle, please don't tell Scotland. No, Leslie, I won't get you in trouble, but, you know, Scotland, if you're listening, I hear you have a yard. I'm pretty sure what you do with that is you take, you know, those just, you know, old fucking bulldogs like Leslie Maxwell and just bring them out to the yard and tell them that all dogs go to heaven, and then we start reenacting the end of Old Yeller. I don't know. Don't take suggestions from me. If you do, I would like some royalties, copyright, all that. Just saying. Anyway.
If I lived in the UK, I would probably shoot myself. Oh wait, they don't have guns either. Oh.
No, you gotta come up with much more elaborate ways to kill yourself. Namely, voting for Ron Paul in 2019 in a crotchless fursuit while hanging yourself through a parachute in a Lamborghini. Anyway, go ahead.
A nice little cereal bowl of Tide Pods and bleach. How about that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to see this. You think? Well, she might have done audiobook, but I don't know if she can listen either. You know what? Maybe someone made a picture book of The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, and she looked at that. That might be what happened. That'd be cool.
All right.
Great! Awesome!
Back to the article. I think we're getting a little...
Don't worry, Serenity. I understand getting voices mixed up and handling a conference call, because I do those all the fucking time. I get you, and, yeah, no apologies necessary. But you are guilty. Anyway, back to our fucking Golden Arches prophet. I'm just picturing this guy going in here and talking in scripture. Like, when they say, like, he ordered 30 cheeseburgers, I feel like he just kind of walked in and went, "Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render unto God that which is God." And they didn't understand. They're like, just, what are you talking about? He's like, "Idolater!" And sort of just hacking everything with a hatchet.
Jesus.
I want to believe that's what happened. And seriously, someone make a movie out of this.
Hold on, Marvel. We have an article coming up later. You need to save this ranting for that one. Because you're going to fucking laugh your ass off, and you're going to have a bunch of shit to say.
Do you think I'm going to run out?
Maybe. I don't fucking
oh, God, no. Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, no, I'm reading through this article right now. We pretty much covered
yeah, that's it. The Sutherland Police Department also says he grabbed a person's shirt and that a witness pulled out a gun. So someone pulled out a gun, and he was like, "Guns do not affect the power of God!" And then he tried to tear apart the Golden Arches. Until eventually St. Peter came down and said, "Whoa, dude, calm down, you're not getting to heaven like this." And he was like, "Fuck you!" and flipped his book that he has all the names in, and then the police shot him or something. I don't fucking know. I'm embellishing at this point.
No, nobody got shot. It's just not clear if he has an attorney or not.
Nobody got shot through the heart? Because I think you might be to blame for this, Jables. This man was living on a prayer.
Whoa.
And hey, who knows? The cooks might have been halfway there. They might have had 15 of those damn, McGriddles. He's 37 years old. There's got to be a thing about 37 years old. Is that a prime number? Somebody who can do math, tell me if that's a prime number. Because that'll be funny as fuck. I don't know why, but it will be eventually. Alright, fuck it. Fuck it, yeah. Next one. Enough of this religious Jedediah shit.
The heir to Anheuser-Busch gave a kid a bloody nose.
So, I just... give me one moment, please. I have to do something important. Cujo was a St. Bernard, yes. And St. Bernards are actually very sweet dogs. I have known some. They're total sweethearts. They're so cute. They're big and floofy. Alright, so we're going to go over here to my comics window. You guys don't get to see it because, I don't like sharing things with you. Except what I do. But not nudes. Never nudes. Those are... So, So I think Anheuser-Busch is one of those companies, I can't remember what they do, but I feel like they might be one of the ones that oh, nope, they're beer. Never mind. Alright, so we can't get mad at them for, killing babies or something, because they're not a pharmaceutical company. Jeff, I hope you take that in the anti-vax direction and get really upset. But then it's okay, we'll be cool. Because I'm making jokes. Don't worry about it. Some are hit, some are missed. This is how I train before I go on tour, which I will never do. So you just always are stuck with this shit. But yeah, no, Anheuser-Busch, they actually make pretty good beer sometimes. They got a passion for it, but they also make Bud Light, so kind of fuck them. But they make Stella, and Stella's good. They make Shock Top. They do a lot of shit. They're one of those conglomerates where it's like you thought these were different brands. No, they're not. They're not different brands. They're all the same brand. They're all the same brand infiltrating your life. Hi, Amazon. I know you're watching. I know you're watching more than the NSA is. I wish the NSA loved me enough to watch me as much as you do. Anyway, back to the article. Wait, that's the wrong article. God, I am so good at technology. Fuck. Alright, so Jables, I don't know if you're still here. I need to make your image go away if it isn't. But please tell me. Jables? Oh no. Did he leave me alone again? God. So this is what it feels to die alone. Wait, no, I'm not dying alone. I'm living alone. That's awful. That's much worse. Anyway, 58-year-old heir to Anheuser-Busch Brewing fortune has been charged with hitting an 11-year-old 6th grader.
Can you fucking hear me?
Now we can. Yes. He shoved him into a wall, gave him a bloody nose, and then Jables couldn't talk for a while because of the bloody nose. But he's back, and now Jables is here to rant about what happened when the heir to Anheuser-Busch did something to him when he was 11. More on fucking Terry Crews and his experiences with Harvey Weinstein later. Goddamn, I can do it with current events too. Love you, Brad. Let's talk about sports.
As many fucking problems as I have with the Anheuser-Busch company. By the way, Nick, quit buying Busch by Rolling Rock at least. It's cheaper than fucking Bud Light.
Brew your own. Make more Vienna lagers than fucking Negro Modelo.
Complain about your finances, and you're buying more expensive beer than a better cheap beer, which is Rolling Rock. All right. Jesus Christ, Nick. You frustrate me sometimes when you talk about that. Plus, I'm in the Matt Christensen camp where I will no longer buy any Bush family beers.
Wait, which person's Matt Christensen? My memory's starting to go, man. You gotta fucking help me here.
Beauty and the Beta.
I think I know who that is. Alright, we're good. Please continue.
Yes.
Everything's
They're
fading into a haze
right
of, like, I don't know, caffeine and rage. Let's go.
No, Liviana Miller's is not the. It's quote unquote the champagne of beers, but it's not the best beers. So it's essentially what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this article.
Oh god, why is Battle.net starting? Fuck off Battle.net. Sorry, go ahead. I clicked buttons and everything's breaking.
There was a basketball game going on, and the heir to the Anheuser-Busch Corporation, his son was in that basketball game, and another kid who was the son of the coach on the team was picking on his son. So the heir's son was being picked on by another kid. And he went up and said things like, "Oh,
you fucker! What are you fucking? Hey, what do you think you're fucking doing to my fucking kid?" And I would answer, "Fucking the fucking fucker." But you know.
Yep. Yep. So he was stopping his kid from being bullied. The headline is really
sensational.
It's sensational, but really all this guy was doing was just showing this kid what it's like to be bullied, on top of protecting his own kid.
See, this just reminds me of the story of fucking who was it? Yeah, it's Jacob. This reminds me of the story of Jacob. Kind of delve into a Jordan Peterson thing here, wherein an angel came down and they were kind of wrestling. And the angel was like, "Stop hitting yourself," but he could not, for the angel was hitting him with his own hands.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's not how that story went at all, but I fucking wish that's how it went.
No, it's not, but that's one of my favorite Christian memes.
Dude, I love that image. I'll find it and put it up for, like, the title card at the end of the show.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, make that the fucking thumbnail.
Yeah,
I think we're both getting a little too drunk for this.
You're probably right, but we're going anyway!
Alright.
God, my neighbors hate me. I'm gonna have to go apologize to my neighbors after this shit, probably.
Maybe my neighbors don't give a fuck. Alright.
To be fair, I've heard a few people get shot recently, so I think they probably don't mind me.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm about to get shot. Fuck it, I'm the next in the string of the serial murders of people who were too annoying in this apartment complex.
Waffle. Speaking of abusing children, we should probably move on to the next article.
Am I a child? Oh, I see where we're going. No, we're not moving on just yet. No, we're not moving on just yet. We're gonna talk about a few things here. So first off, Billy Bush ran up and slammed a kid's head into a wall, and if any of that were literal instead of just names, good God, would this be fucking sexual assault and or bestiality, depending on your definition of kid. But we've got problems. First off, all of our male audience and some of our female audience will probably know that, as you get older, you get stronger, and those aggressive urges are a bad idea because you can start killing people by accident. So you kind of stop doing it. You stop getting in fights. You settle things in other ways, like fights with rules, or fights in finances, or beating out that guy in the cubicle over and getting a bigger bonus than him because fuck you, Jerry from school! Or I don't even know. But, point is, maybe, just maybe, a 58-year-old smacking, even shoving an 11-year-old is kind of not cool. But you may say, he was protecting his brood, his spawn, his progeny.
Shoved his head against, quote-unquote, shoved his head against the wall.
He gave him a bloody nose. Maybe the kid was
shoved. No, shoved him against the wall, forcing his head to hit it. and then his nose started to bleed.
I mean, that's kind of like
Allegedly.
that's kind of like asking MacGyver in his later years when he's really slipping. Hey, MacGyver, you know, what are we gonna do? And he's like, well, I can pull out this device and pull a little lever, which will turn a little gear, which will then, you know, cause another thing to kind of strike forward, which will then use its kinetic energy to you know, start a chemical reaction, which will then chain reaction through an explosive, which will go through a tube and fire out a piece of metal into that guy, killing him. He's just using a gun because he's lost creativity and everything but explaining things. It's the same deal. Point is, I got a rant here. Give me a moment. So, you could say that maybe this is okay because he's, you know, following an evolutionary imperative. He's protecting his spawn. You know, he wants to pass on his genes. You know, being the father figure, the protector, the not tyrant, the other one, whatever Jordan Peterson likes to talk about. The, you know, the father that's the wise king who shoves kids' heads into walls like Pinocchio. Anyway, maybe you're right. But on the other hand, if your dad shows up every single time you get bullied and smashes a kid's head into a wall, what are you gonna do when your dad's dead? This guy's 58 and, like, in a beer company. How long do we think he is for this world? Like, this kid's gonna be like let's see, you know, 58, let's be generous, say he gets to 98, he's got 40 more years. So all of a sudden, we've got this 51-year-old kid, he's definitely a kid still at this point because he's rich, and he's gonna be there, and then somebody at, like, his company's gonna, like, you know, shove him and be like, yeah, fuck you, loser, this is our water cooler, and he's not gonna know what to do because his dad's not around to punch the fuck out of him. He's never gonna learn to be a functioning adult, and, you know, after he's 50 when his dad's gone. So really, this is why you don't punch, you know, you don't punch children when they punch your children. You teach your children to punch other people's children, and then you go to the other parents and bet on them so you can make some money on the side, and even if you lose money, you had a good time.
And remember, if you punch children on the subway, you can get away, which leads us into our next article.
And remember, everybody, I am intoxicated, which means I can't consent to fucking anything. So if you come in here and start, you know, spreading my words around like they're true, well, that's because you are apparently a rapist. There we go. Let's have fun with this.
I'm trying to lead segues into news articles. Come on, buddy.
You're trying to lead segues into news articles, and I am derailing this because I'm having fun. All right. So,
yes.
So once upon a time,
but now we can talk about the funny punching a kid.
So once upon a time, an 11-year-old got punched by the CEO of an heir to fortune of companies and 500s and whatever. But this time, a guy got initiated. Well, a kid, but he's a guy now because he just got initiated into being a true Brooklynite. I don't know if I ever told you what. I don't know, Jables. I don't know if I ever told you this story. But once upon a time, my dad decided he had lived too long in Brooklyn, and the way he decided this is because he was walking across the street, and a bus came around the corner and hit him, launched him about 30 feet, and his immediate response was to stand up, flip the guy off, yell "fuck you," and keep walking across the road. He got 2 blocks before realizing, "Fuck, I'm turning into a Brooklynite," and then he decided to move. That's actually a true story. I didn't make a word of that up.
Oh, that also leads us into our next story too. It
does. So this is how you become a Brooklynite. You get hit by a subway. You get hit by a guy on a subway. The subway is not a guy. We're not talking about Thomas the Tank Engine over here. Take it away, Jables. I'm gonna relax my throat.
Jesus, thank you. Please, fucking A. All right, well,
you knew what you were getting into.
Shit. God damn it. So anyways, this next news article, as long as you can focus on scrolling, my buddy.
I can do that. I can scroll.
Yeah, headline is, man punches 5-year-old boy on Brooklyn subway. That is a picture of the guy. By the way, if you live in the area, they're still looking for him. So, I don't know, let them know if you see him.
To calm down a slight bit, it looks like this guy's, like, trying to flex and just kind of going noodle arm. Like, look at these fucking guns. Look at these hands. These hands are magic. You can't stop them. And then he realizes that's stupid and puts them in his pockets.
Waffle.
Go ahead.
Save it for the next article, because the next article is fucking gold.
I'm implying that I have to save anything. I'm an endless barrel of fucking, not exposition, but something.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware, buddy.
I haven't even hit the table yet.
And I love it. And I love you, buddy. I'm totally aware.
Ooh, I should look up
so essentially, this little boy this 5-year-old boy and his mother were riding on a Brooklyn-bound G train near the Bergen Street station in Cobble Hill when the man came up and socked him at around 4:25 p.m.
5 minutes too late.
Oh, it was after 4. It was after 4:20. I assume he smoked some of that dangerous marijuana.
Did they share it though? Did they both shoot it up directly into their balls?
Oh, well, that's the only way to take marijuana, don't you know?
Yeah. You have to shoot it up directly into your balls, fall for 5 whole marijuanas, and then you reenact Reefer Madness because that's just what you do. Great musical.
And the thing he said directly after punching this little boy in the face was, "Are you gonna cry to your mommy?" And then he ran away and left the subway.
I love the way they described this in the article, actually. Just, are you gonna cry to your mommy? The puerile, meaning young, like boyish brute. The puerile brute said, according to police sources, he dashed off the train at the Bergen Street station. So I'm picturing this guy just punching this kid, leading him real close, just being like, "You gonna cry to your mommy?" And then being like, "Oh shit, that's my stop," and then fucking running.
Yep, that's exactly how.
Shit, I'm gonna miss my class for the 5th grade! And then he runs.
They're still looking for this guy. This guy's roughly 20 years old, maybe. That's just based off witness accounts, things like that. There are pictures of the guy up above. So that is the actual guy that's pictured up above. So if you see that guy, if you live in the New York area, let the police know. Because they punched a 5-year-old.
Now, yes, if you see that guy...
But essentially punching a 5-year-old, that's just welcoming a 5-year-old to Brooklyn.
Did you just say sexually punching a 5-year-old? Because I feel like that's welcoming people to LA.
I said essentially.
I stand by my statement. Sexually punching a 5-year-old is apparently welcoming people to LA. Don't move to LA!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Alright.
Yeah, I'm just stating what is, not what's okay. Oh, Jesus, Echo.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally unplugged my headphones.
It's okay, I understand. I do that frequently when I flail around and hit chords.
Yeah, well, I got a new spinny chair that I can hang out in.
Dude, nice! I need a new spinny chair. This one's fucked up. I kind of found this one on the street and took it home because I have a soft, spot for weak things that need to be adopted. Except in this case, it's furniture instead of pets or girlfriends.
My local bar was going through a remodel, and they just had these sitting out and said we could take them. So I grabbed a few.
I say I found this on the street, but in reality, I kind of stole it from the physics department of my university. Though they may have been trying to throw it away. So hey, fuck it. I scavenged. I'm part of the ecosystem.
Yeah, this is a low-backed with armrests bar stool, essentially.
Nice.
That spins. It's super nice. I fucking love them.
I need to find some bars that are going out of business so I can get all their good shit.
Oh, not going out of business, just going through remodeling. They had to take out their outside bar.
Going out of business, remodeling, either way, they've got good shit that I want.
Yeah. Loretta's Northwesterner in Seattle, Washington. Go visit there, you'll find me. Anyways, yeah, there's not much to say about this other than surprisingly a lot of people punching kids in the face this week.
Yeah, I mean, really, I gotta worry about these trends of violence in the current day. I mean, it's almost like punching kids is a new thing that has never happened ever before. Oh, fucking wait!
You know what? Are we gonna talk about the buckets of rocks?
Oh shit! Yeah, no, dude, have fun with your buckets of rocks. I don't have the article up. I could find it. But... No, you know what? No, I can find it. Let's do this. You know what? Dashing off train.
Yeah, let's do rocks before we talk about Rocket Man.
Also worth noting, he is this perpetrator. He's described as black, about 26 foot, 160 pounds, the medium build. Okay, so I'm gonna dox myself even more here. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", I'm like 180 something, right? So this guy is a pansy ass motherfucker who's lanky as fuck. Punch him. Metaphorically, because I clearly don't advocate violence.
I'm about 5'11", 210, maybe.
I actually really like this. Just this paragraph is fun. He's described as black, about 20, 6 foot, 160 pounds, medium build, short black hair and mustache. He was last seen wearing an olive-covered long-sleeve shirt, black jacket, black sneakers, and a beige cargo pants. So, I don't know. Like, I'm actually kind of amazed that they said black instead of African American. But you know, fuck it. Point is, there's a lot of colors going on here, but they're all kind of on the darker side. They're kind of earthy tones. Really, he's got some style. If you see a hippie, don't confuse him for him. He's going to be wearing hippie's going to be wearing more brown, more dreads, more odor. The point is, you know, earthy tones are not a reason to punch somebody. But this fucker punching a 5-year-old, I think he needs to be initiated into being a Brooklynite as well. Because you can initiate someone to being a Brooklynite by punching them, but you yourself are not a Brooklynite until you have been well and truly punched on the subway.
Also,
Quinn is an exception to this. Quinn doesn't need to get punched. Don't punch Quinn. She's awesome. Sorry.
A good way to find a hippie between a normal person, smell for the patchouli. Patchouli is always a dead giveaway.
Oh boy. So we might have a person for our dude, our third wheel. You know what? We'll figure it out later after he accepts my friend request. But
Nah, pull in whoever the fuck you want.
hang on. We were saying something about buckets of rocks. I can do this. Hang on, everybody. You ready for buckets of rocks? It's time for buckets of rocks. Assuming that oh my god, OBS actually knew what to do, except for the part where it didn't.
I feel like we're rushing through this episode. It's just because I'm so excited for the last article.
I like the idea. So, Jables, you can't see this, but on stream it just says stones and there's a bucket of rocks. I'm gonna fix this, but as is, I kind of like this as a news article.
Yeah.
I wish there were more news articles that said that, just like guns, and then there was a picture of guns, and that's it. No text. We're done. In the news today, guns. Definitely. That was the guns. Sorry. Go
in case of school shooters, district arms each classroom with a 5-pound bucket of stones. So they're gonna throw rocks at a school shooter. That's their plan.
Well, hold on now. I don't know about you, Jables, but there are plenty of cultures out there. I mean, we have to look outside Western culture. I'm indulging my inner SJW tonight. Because clearly, our Western culture has failed. And you know what has succeeded? Islam. When they have undesirable elements in their fucking cultures, they stone them to death with rocks like it says in the Bible. So you want to deal with school shooters? Give kids these things to commit murder and have it be socially acceptable. Go ahead.
Waffle. I feel like you're being quite the bigot right now. Wait, hold on. No, we're America. We can make fun of whatever the fuck we want. Never mind.
How do you know I'm not a Jewish Muslim? I might have deep internal conflict because of these conflicting identities. I don't.
I'm also a Jew. I have a family name of Isaacson.
Dude, it gets even better for me because like it's like okay.
Wait. Let's not dox ourselves here.
No, Jables, this isn't doxing. This is okay. It's not doxing me. Because if you could find me, you might be able... Actually, no, I don't think I've mentioned that on anywhere online ever. So fuck it. Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, so my girlfriend is German. I'm a Jew. So I still need to, like, sit her down and go watch Imperium with, like, Daniel Radcliffe so we could both be uncomfortable for 2 hours.
Ooh.
Now that's a good date!
Do that, too. Schindler's List would be even better.
I prefer the action movie version, Schindler's Fist, starring Nicolas Cage. And also its sequel/remake, Schindler's Pissed. Also starring Nicolas Cage.
Every movie starring Nicolas Cage because of deepfakes.
Those aren't real movies, but Nick Cage, if you ever watch this, please find your agent. Make those movies. I want to watch them. I like you, Nick Cage. I like you in most of the things you do. They might not be good movies, but my God, are you fun to watch.
Where's that one
from the bushes next to your house through your window? Don't ask. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Where's the one that he can see like a couple seconds into the future?
Next, that was a funny story. That's based on a Philip K. Dick book.
Yeah. I knew that. That wasn't as bad as critics said.
That movie had a lot of interesting ideas, and a lot of them were executed adequately. It may have been lackluster, but it was still interesting idea, interesting premise, interesting exploration into it. And overall, there's nowhere where it completely dropped the ball and failed, unlike episode fucking 1 of Star Wars. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
but the movie as a whole was executed poorly.
It was executed lackluster.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as it could have been, but I would not call it bad. You know, it was an okay movie. It was mediocre, which I'm okay with because I was entertained when I watched it. You know, wouldn't put it up for an Oscar. Wouldn't say it's a great classic that everybody needs to watch. But if you watch it, I don't think you'll feel like you've wasted your time.
Yeah. All right, so let me round out this news story real quick. So essentially, some dumbass people that run a school district say that they should just keep 5-pound buckets of stones in their schools in case of a school shooter, so you can just throw rocks at them.
Wait, Jables, I gotta stop you. It's very important. Brits in the chat, could you remind us what a stone is in terms of weight? Because are 5-pound buckets of stones like 5 stone, or are they like more stone or less? I'm really confused here. I want to know how much stone we're assaulting people with. Please continue.
Well, I do have to talk to Double King real quick. He's in the chat. Yeah, I'll turn on the gas for Waffle. Unfortunately, the gas is THC.
Devil, we are cooking with gas already. There are so many vapors in here. You don't even know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You ever watch and/or read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Because Hunter S. Thompson had some stuff to say about ether, and that's just my life right now.
Actually, my favorite picture taken of all time is with Hunter S. Thompson, Johnny Depp, and John Cusack in a convertible car with a sex doll.
Wait, what's this about a sex doll? Sorry, I completely... Somebody mentioned Star Wars in the chat, and that just absorbed my entire attention for a moment.
Alright, whatever. Let's get to the fun news article.
Let's get to the fun news article. So 1 pound... Devil, how many pounds are in a stone? I can't multiply that in my head right now. Devil, please.
It's like 13 to 20-something pounds in a stone. I don't
fucking 13? That looks more like 28, but... Devil, please! You can math right now, and I fucking can't. Hey, Jables, you want to talk about linear algebra? Because I fucking don't.
No.
Good. All right, we're on the same page. Awesome. So we have common ground at least somewhere in this whole thing. Woo, boy!
I can't do math right now. I drink through all of these. I don't know if you guys have noticed throughout the last 2 months that we've been doing this.
Here's the funny thing. For all of them except for this one and another one, I've been completely sober. This is a different exception day rule thing. Fuck it. We're going to keep doing this. It's going to be fun.
Well, it's because we're pissed off about something.
Yeah. And like I said, we're coming back to the dank thing. Oh, we're ready.
Yeah. All right. But now we can make fun of this self-taught rocket scientist.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. If you guys remember, like 6 months ago or so, last November, there was this flat earther that was supposed to launch a rocket to prove that the Earth was flat.
And this flat earther looks mighty scared right now. If only there were somewhere he could hide. Like under the Earth, except that's not a thing. Fuck you, flat earther. You don't know what you're talking about.
I thought this whole idea was dead from him. Let's read the article. Let's actually read this article.
Would you like to read it, or shall I? Because I could try to narrate it in a sexy voice.
I'm gonna read this article.
But I wanted to be sensual about it.
Well, I can do that.
I was just gonna be like, oh, okay, no, you know, go. I like this. This is good. This is gonna get me hard.
He finally went up, just like the self-taught rocket scientist always pledged he would. He came back down in one piece too. A little dinged up, and his steam-powered vessel a little cracked up.
Oh, baby, work the shaft!
Still, mission accomplished for a guy more daredevil than engineer who drew more comparisons to the cartoon character Wile E. Coyote from his critics than he did. Oh, fuck, I fucked it up.
This hurt. I just want to note that one paragraph hurts me more than any of you could know except for Pavros. Pavros knows why that hurts me.
Well, the punctuation is bullshit in that fucking paragraph.
Well, no, that's how Wile E. Coyote's name is spelled. E is his middle fucking name. But, again, Pavros, you know why this hurts me. Unless you've forgotten, in which case you're a good person. But he is not more daredevil than engineer. You know how I know? He's not fucking blind, and he's not a lawyer.
Mad Mike Hughes, the rocket man who believes the Earth is flat, propelled himself about 1,875 feet into the air Saturday before a hard landing in the Mojave Desert. He told the Associated Press that outside of an aching back, he's fine after the launch near Amboy, California.
Okay, quick
Relieved.
PSA. No, this is important. The quick PSA. Any of you who decide to launch yourselves in a steam rocket, spinal injuries and head injuries are very difficult to know that you have. You might think you have an aching back. You might think you're just a little bit sore. Get yourself checked out by a professional because you could have concussion or some serious fucking brain damage or spinal Point is, you might think you're fine, but you're probably not. In this case, I don't know that we'd notice a difference.
Also, extra PSA, head injuries are cumulative, not whatever.
They're bad! Don't hit your head!
Yeah, the more you hit your head, the worse it is because they're cumulative.
Jesus, even when I'm
Anyways,
drunk, I give good medical advice.
Relieved.
Vaccinate your children! Sorry, go ahead.
Jesus. Yes, vaccinate your children. Oh, fuck.
I have to give medical advice.
Let's not get into vaccinations.
Let's get into rockets.
We'll save that for we're saving that for after the Jilly G's Dr. Phil episode.
Yeah, let's get into rockets and then find out that the Earth is actually fucking round, you goddamn idiot. Not you, Jables, this guy.
Yeah. Relieved, he said after he was checked up by the paramedics. I'm tired of people saying I chickened out and didn't build a rocket. I'm tired of that stuff. I manned up and did it. So if you guys don't know, back in November, when he tried to do this, he didn't have the proper licensing through the Bureau of Lands.
I mean, do you mean the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, the one that's not Black Lives Matter? Yes. Fuck you, Black Lives Matter, for having an acronym that already matters for an organization that's actually fucking important?
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have the proper licensing through the Bureau of Land Management in order to launch a steam-powered rocket into the sky. And so there were a number of issues, like his truck broke down.
I can actually give you a summary.
He wasn't able to get to the location, things like that.
I can give you a quick summary of how that rejection from the Bureau of Land Management probably went. He probably went to a ranger and was like, "Hey, can I launch a rocket here?" And the guy was like, "Fucking no! You'll scare the deer." And then that was the end of it. But then he did it anyway. Sorry, go ahead. Don't scare deer unless they're jumping in front of the road. In which case, kill them and eat their flesh.
Well, sometimes you don't have the choice in whether or not.
Venison is delicious. But if they do that, eat their flesh. Venison is good.
All right. The 61-year-old limo driver converted a mobile home into a ramp and modified it to launch from a vertical angle so he wouldn't fall back to the ground on public land. For months, he's been working on overhauling his rocket in his garage. It looked like Saturday might be another string cancellations, given that the wind was blowing and his rocket was losing steam. Ideally, he wanted 350 psi for maximum thrust, but it was dropping to 340.
Actually, literally losing steam. Steam-powered rocket. Steampunk fans, your hero has arrived.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, he believes the Earth is goddamn flat and not made of gears or some shit. Whatever. Like gears, I could get behind. That'd be cool. Flat? No, not unless you're Terry Pratchett.
So somebody that was helping him said, I told Mike we could keep charging it up and get it hotter. And said Waldo Stakes, who's been helping his.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say Waldo Stakes?
Yeah, that's his name.
That's an amazing name.
Yeah. Where's Waldo?
In space!
Sometime after 3 p.m. PDT? What's PDT?
Wait, what? Wait.
I think that's just a typo.
No, where does it say that? Where does it say that? I don't.
After the quote I just said.
Okay, let's see. Pacific. It's basically Pacific time, but daylight savings.
Sure.
No, that's what it is. It's a time zone thing.
And without a countdown, a huge rocket soared into the sky. Wait, without a countdown? Come on.
I mean, he didn't have a countdown, but I'd hope that he had the intro music from Lion King, just, Ha! Savannah! And this rocket rocket's gonna die. Anyway, go ahead.
Hughes reached a speed that Styx estimated to be around 350 miles per hour before pulling his parachute. That's when he was coming down. He reached about 350 miles per hour before pulling his parachute. He was dropping too fast, though. Had to deploy a second one. He landed with a thud, and the rocket's nose broke in two places, like it was designed to do so.
All right. So flat earther or not, I gotta give some respect for this guy, because everyone listening, everyone who may watch this in the future and listen, I want you to ask yourself: you think you're smarter than this man? But have you ever launched yourself into the fucking air on a rocket because you believe hard enough and then land and then be like, yeah, my back hurts a little. I'm gonna go home to my girlfriend and my cats. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this guy's actually kind of metal. It's a shame that he's retarded.
Yeah.
And before any of you complain about that word, I'm retarded. Fuck you. Go ahead.
He's a self-taught rocket scientist.
And in a scientist in the best way. I don't know if this is true. I'm gonna test it with my body on the line. Good job, man. Good job, man.
Well, congrats to him. He reached over 1,800 feet.
It's a shame you never heard of books and math.
Well, okay.
Good books and good math.
Wait. I have to throw out a disclaimer here. If you guys want to learn about shit in the proper way, do scholar.google.com. And that will lead you to peer-reviewed sites, as opposed to just google.com, which will lead you to whatever the fuck site doesn't fucking matter.
Scholar.google.com will search you through basic academic publications, books, magazines, anything online, all kinds of stuff. Worth noting,
Yes.
A lot of that's going to be behind a paywall. If you are currently in a university, in college, chances are your university might actually give you access. Awesome, great. If you're employed in some sort of industry, for example, in my case, if you're looking for geology stuff and you are employed with a certain firm, they may well have access through that institution. Great, fantastic. In a lot of cases, that stuff's going to be locked behind a paywall, and that's going to be tough. But if you want to get around that, find the author's name, right? So it's like, oh, here's a paper. I might have to pay for this. Fuck. Don't do it online. It's a scam. There are plenty of sites that pirate stuff, though I don't advocate that. But you may well be able to find the actual book or the magazine, the particular issue of the... Magazine's not really the right word, but journal, rather, where the paper's published. You can find that in a library oftentimes. Go in, check it out, read, not check it out oh, hey, that's kind of cool. That girl's got a nice ass. Check it out as in go in and actually, library card, check it out. It's now in your name. Read it. Put it back. There's a lot of ways to get this for free. You just got to do a little extra legwork.
Wait. Time out, Waffle.
Yeah.
One thing that we are not suggesting is that
checking out girls' asses.
We are not suggesting illegally getting these things. However, there are several pirate ships that roam around that you might be able to hop onto in order to access a lot of these scientific journals.
Let me refine my statement a little more. I don't condone getting these things illegally. There are lots of legal ways to get this stuff with some legwork. However, that being said, I don't condone getting these things illegally, but I would be denying reality to say that easy, simple, and free pirate sites exist to get your hands on these things, and the fact that, hold on. No, and I would also be remiss in saying...
You're missing saying allegedly, my friend.
Oh no, it's not alleged.
You're missing saying pirate ships that are roaming around.
No, this isn't alleged. I'm not condoning it. I'm just talking about what exists. You're confusing an is with an ought. This is, maybe it should ought to be. Okay. However, what I will say is that a lot of the academic journals out there that are publishing people's stuff and all that are an absolute fucking scam because you have to pay to get published in them. And they're like, oh, printing costs are an issue, even though they're doing everything online and server hosting is dirt fucking cheap. So... I don't know. Make your own conclusion. Maybe it's like the academic publishing paradigm that has existed for the past, couple centuries is kind of bullshit and is going away, and there's a lot of journals out there that will now publish things for free, that are open access, that aren't even pirating, that are completely legal. And it's almost like this makes sense. Sorry, go ahead. I have some issues about the way academic publishing works. Let's just leave it at that. Go ahead, Jables. I believe in you.
Yeah, well, all I have to say is that I do a lot of things from the bow of pirate ship. That's pretty much...
I don't know about all of you, but I said at the beginning of the show, there's rum and your Harfield DD being a pirate is alright with me. Now, take that to mean whenever you want. I clearly mean it in the Jack Sparrow sense, but fuck it, you know? I can't be held liable for how you people interpret my words.
DMs. But, yeah.
If you would like advice,
right.
or just
Wait,
my feelings on academic publishing, please ask me. I have thoughts. And
regardless, Chet, how are you doing?
I think Chet's
this
doing great.
episode On a scale of 1 to fucking drunk. No replaces for scallywags to hide in? Alright.
This is not actually the most drunk I've been, like, by a long shot.
No, it's not. But, I'm looking out for you, buddy.
I know, and I appreciate that you're trying to rein me in. Like, I really do. I still will, just steamroll over it when I fucking feel like it. But you know what, Jables? You're a good guy. I'm glad that we do this show. Like, this is honestly a ton of fucking fun. I'm really glad that you're the one I do it with, because we have such fun interactions. Like, I love you, man. You're an awesome guy. I'm really glad we're friends.
Sweet.
This wouldn't, and you know what? This wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Nick and Jeff. Pinky's up for Nick and Jeff. Love those guys. Great guys. Jeff Jeff passed the fuck out drunken, like I probably will tonight. But Nick played a bunch of PUBG with some people last night, and it was a ton of fun. And hopefully he uploads the videos of that, because we found some really, really funny people online. Point is, these guys are awesome, and I'm really glad that I at least can call them friends, even if they don't agree.
Well, we wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for Radical Centrist recommending that you and I do this together.
Dude, it was Nick that suggested it on stream on Christmas.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Centrist probably suggested it too.
For that.
Yeah, Centrist probably suggested it too, but at some point, like Nick's Christmas present was, hey, give us a pre-show. And we're like, yeah, giving makes us feel good. Let's do it.
All right. Also, by the way, before I forget, Wolf and I talked about this a little bit.
Metaphysics? No.
This morning? No. We're not getting into metaphysics. There's somebody in the Saints Discord, Mac Mittens. His cat that he's had for the past 14 years was diagnosed with essentially leukemia. He will not be around for when this cat that he has raised from a kitten to die. I'm sorry to bring the mood down, but Pinky's up for Misty, his cat. And Mac Mittens, we're all here for you.
And you know what? On that note, I gotta say, look, death isn't about an inevitable fact of life. Pets go away. It happens. But you know what? My heart goes out to you, because at no point have I ever had a friend or a pet or family member leave me and had it not be absolutely heart-wrenching. We can accept this as a natural part of life, but that is no reason to not be sad about it. That is no reason to not lament the absence in your life, and no reason to not celebrate, the life that was lived. So, by all means, have the fond memories, celebrate them, and don't deny yourself the chance to mourn and grieve. My heart really does go out to you, and seriously, I sympathize in a big way.
I was up about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and Mac Mittens was like, "Hey, can we talk?" And so we chatted in a voice chat for a while and got to vent a lot, and we talked about a bunch of other stuff. So if any of you think that the mods aren't here for you, just remember we're always here. We're always here for all of you.
And despite outward appearances, pretty much all of us are capable of compassion, except for Buck when he's passed out, because he's not capable of anything when he's passed out.
Yeah, new Discord rule. Don't chug a bunch of IPAs and then drink a bottle of wine, because then you'll end up drooling on your floor and leaving wine stains.
Yes, that is true. But Mac Mittens...
In the message in general, by the way.
Yeah, Mac Mittens, Jables and I did talk about this. He made the suggestion and the request that, we honor this, and I was absolutely wholeheartedly behind it, not even a question in my mind. Like, seriously, we are here for you, and we're with you in this.
So let's
complete honesty.
do a quick salute. Let's have a quick drink and a quick moment of silence for the future passing of Misty, Macbitton's kitten.
Godspeed, Misty. While none of our chat, I think, could interrupt, I choose to believe that even if they could, they would not have. That was beautiful, and I'm really glad that you all shared that with us. Thank you. Sincerely.
Waffle.
Yep.
Alright, anybody you want to bring in?
Yeah, I think I got somebody, if we could find him.
And a hat is always fun.
No, we got a third wheel. There's no idea what's going on. Sire, you here?
Oh, who do we got here?
It's your turn to talk.
Sire DeCusi.
Or Seredi Kelsey. I don't know. I don't know how his name's supposed to be pronounced. I can't get it. Are you here?
It's yeah, I'm here. It's Sire Halsey. It's a French name from the book, which is sitting beside me. A Distant Mirror.
And he's gone. That was. Oh, he's back! He's back! Holy shit!
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on a cell phone. I apologize.
It's okay. We love you anyway, despite the French and despite the cell phone. What's the book, by the way? I'm legitimately curious.
It is A Distant Mirror by Barbara W. Tuchman.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a filthy history major.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having an interest in history as long as you can leverage it and make it work. The problem is when you're a history major and you learn bad history and then you turn around and look at everybody like, I know more than you. And it's like, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, well. What do you think about Nazis actually being socialists?
Yeah, if you follow some of it, you do see that there is a link there, but a lot of that was questionable on how you want to take it. It's not my cup of tea, really. I was more focused on the First World War.
All right. I was just curious about your take on that, because I've heard different people with history majors saying Nazis were actually socialists, and I've heard other history majors say Nazis weren't actually socialists. But it was like they espoused socialist ideals, and then when they got in power, when Hitler got into power, it was more authoritarian and not necessarily socialism.
One of the interesting things about history in general, or like history as a pursuit and as a study and as a field, it's incredibly broad. A lot of shit has happened on the earth, and so depending on who you're talking to, they're going to specialize in different stuff and know different things. And there's different interpretations too, because no one alive now was around at the fall of Rome. So we don't have necessarily the accounts and evidence we'd like. We have to kind of piece things back together based on what we've got.
Yeah, actually, I'm in agreement with that. I actually had a professor when I was in college. I've been out for 10 years now, who was actually once took a kid aside right at the end of class and said, "Look, I don't care what you think happened. I want you to tell me what I think happened." And me and that professor didn't get along too well.
Gee, I wonder why.
It could be the fact that he also didn't like the fact that I blamed the Irish potato famine on the Chinese.
All right. So another question I have for you. I don't know you at all. I think you're new to the server.
I've been on for a couple of months, but I haven't really done a whole lot. But I work a night shift, so you know.
Okay, you're really well. Come in any time. There's always somebody here. For example, I was there for somebody at like 2:00 this morning.
Yeah, I was on this morning as well because again, like I said, I work a night shift. So
yeah, I saw you around a little bit. So what do you think about the Count Dankula case?
Oh Christ. That's a load of fucking shit. And okay, when I first heard about it, I was like, they did what? And then I started following. It's like, what?
Did you think he was actually going to get a guilty charge for hate crime?
Okay. Here's where my standing view on it.
Before you say any of that, because I don't want to break flow here, I'm going to step out for a moment. I will be right back. Please continue. Pretend I was never gone.
I got it. Don't worry.
Okay. My feeling on this is, and this is predominantly because where I've had my family's had a couple run-ins with the local council. I don't know what the hell to call them, but they generally, if they show up and they want something from you, and they're going to get it regardless. So I felt he was going to be screwed from the very beginning, but
yeah.
You know.
But did you? All right. How do you feel about the charge in general? You already said it's utter bullshit. But like, how do you feel about how the case was treated based on historical things, where they're saying context doesn't matter, things like that? Do you feel like the UK is headed into a very dark place? Because that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm actually, that's worrying, because if someone can sit there and say context does not matter, then it can mean I could say anything and they could assume, like if I could say this is a lovely day outside, they can just construe the context that's actually some type of phrasing that I'm saying we should bomb the White House.
Well, yeah, they could take it as any sort of phrasing. It's a lovely day outside. But they could take it as you didn't see any black people that day, so that's why you thought it was a lovely day.
Well, okay. I am from Southwest Virginia, and where I grew up, like I'd say less than 100.
Sorry. I was just posing that to like a hate crime sort of situation.
No. Actually, I was going to elaborate on that. Where I grew up, I'd say something around 100 miles from the house I grew up in, is a county which still has a functioning Klan. So, yeah, I get it. But these people, when you actually get to meet them, they have nothing. And they're stupid. And we've never had a problem out of them, except for this one guy who decided that it would be wise to go down into the city and basically protest and show off his neo-Nazi affiliations. You could look it up. I can't know what the guy's name is, but it's a relatively actually national case.
You can send us links and we'll put it in the description later.
If I can remember what the guy's name is, I will.
Yeah, one thing I found really fascinating that happened in recent years is there was this black guy that was talking to neo-Nazis and stuff like that. He was going up and talking to them. And he actually converted a lot of neo-Nazis from being totally racist because they actually met a quote-unquote good black guy.
Yeah, it was something like over 200 people that he, like Klansmen, that he went up and just kind of talked to and befriended, and then they just kind of like, wait, all this stuff that we're saying is ridiculous. This guy, like, I know this guy, he's a good guy, you know, that doesn't make sense compared to the things that people are telling me, you know?
Yeah, it's almost as if conversations actually mean something. Weird, right?
Oh, totally.
Like, hey, we disagree on something. Well, let's have a conversation about it.
Well, I mean, you don't like Twinkies. I like Twinkies. We can find some common ground in here somewhere and agree that Little Debbie toaster cakes are good. I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I ran into an issue a couple weeks ago. We mentioned it on the show slightly, where I shared the link for the show channel with my sister, and she started sharing it with a bunch of other people. Fucking cunt. And somebody tried to start a fight with me because apparently I am a far right populist.
You too?
I guess so. I don't like labels to begin with, for one thing. I'm an issue by issue kind of person. And yes, Leslie Maxwell, I live in a tight-knit community. It actually is a nice community. But what happened was it was just this drunk old man yelling at me and saying, Jake, I think you're... Oh, dox myself. Jake, I think you're really smart. But you're a far-right populist, and I want to kick your fucking ass. Well, if you think I'm smart, wouldn't you think I thought about the things that I say? Maybe a little bit?
Well, no. He's just saying, he's like, I think you're smart, but I also think you're evil, so I think you're going to turn to Palpatine and, become the Senate.
Yeah. I mean, shit like that makes me want to blow my fucking brains out. But I can't do that because we already have a show opening with a song called Like a Dick by Patty Reagan.
Yeah, and Jables cannot bring himself to suck a gun like a dick.
Yeah, well, no, everybody would think I was trying to suck the gun like a dick. It exists in my search history so much because it's such a good song.
It is a good song.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, we will send it to you after the show. It is quite hilarious.
All right, cool. But no, I mean, I lost actually a couple of good friends after Trump's election, and particularly after the Charlottesville case. I don't know if you guys remember back, but right after the Charlottesville incident, I was the one that made the shoot, see the poodle joke.
Mm-hmm.
And
please
I actually
remind for anyone who wasn't aware.
Okay, Nick was commenting upon how retarded the Richard Spencer's, white polo shirt wearing, tiki torch carrying dipshits were, and he said, it's like, this could be a candlelit vigil for Shoopsie the Poodle, and so I super chatted in there and said, hey man, I'm from Virginia. Shoopsie the Poodle may have been a retarded, one-eyed, half-deaf dog, but damn it, that dog meant something to us here, so you take that back.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, I have a long memory on this stuff, but,
seriously, that's fucking great. I don't know if I caught that super chat, but it's beautiful. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. But, no, but, I lost a friend over that. We only recently just started talking again, and that's very basic, because he had no job. He did not agree with it. He was not happy about the Trump election, and he just started spiraling and just surrounding himself with people that would tell him what he wanted to hear. And when I sat there, the reason he stopped talking to me and got mad at me was because I said, both sides are pushing this to a point where there will be blood in the streets if we don't stop and say, you're retarded and you're retarded, now sit the fuck down and stop looking at each other.
I like that. I do like that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of the problem is I basically live in a college town, so some of the people up there, it's quite interesting. It wasn't as bad as the time I got cornered at the local game shop by a guy who didn't like the fact that I, one, was working night shift, or two, working for a coal company.
Okay, you know what? I get where you're coming from on that one. I don't get where he's coming from. It's like, fuck, dude, you take work where you can get work. You gotta live. You gotta eat.
Okay.
Money.
To basically run it down,
well, I can get where, I can understand where he probably thought he was coming from, of like, oh, how dare you be complicit in the defiling of the planet, and it's like, well, first off, fuck you. And then second, which would you rather have? So, I don't know how environmentally conscious you are, but let's pretend that you're an environmentalist for the moment. Which would you rather have working at the coal company? Somebody who cares about the environment and might actually, do their best to make sure everything's, tip-top, all the valves are closed, everything's, tightened down the way it should be, so you're not spilling a bunch of shit in different places and causing problems, or somebody who doesn't give, you know, even one iota of a fuck who's going to cause problems because they don't care about the consequences. Which would you rather have?
Well, this guy's general view of it is that coal's bad, and I drive a Prius that's being held together by duct tape. And because I drive a Prius, I'm better than you.
Oh.
This twat, I'll use that term.
Oh, please do. Please use it over and over again. I know the way we Americans say it makes Leslie Maxwell laugh, like, just uncontrollably. So keep going, by all means.
Yeah. So basically, this guy was... okay. First off, the game we were playing was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness. The DM was kind of crap, but a good dude. And this guy kept bringing in his Kung Fu Panda character that kept changing what it could do week by week. So that gives you one idea of the type of person you're dealing with. But he had his opinion, and everybody was like, look, Kenneth, love you, bro. You're a good dude. Please don't talk politics because you don't know half the shit you're saying, and you're preaching to us from a moral position, and we don't want to kill you. I actually had one of the guys actually says, no, this isn't the first time he's done that. One of the other guys who was more in line with this guy's mindset wanted to kill him. I mean, like they're talking like they're in the same room together, and you could just see this one guy just like daggers every time this guy opened his mouth. I'm not gonna call him a kid; he's older than me, but yeah.
Speaking of which, real quick, somebody in chat or Jables or Sire or whoever, remind me at some point to on stream, like on air, go on my rant about environmentalists. Because because you're touching a lot of stuff here. Just to preface it, I'm not going to give the actual rant here, but I'm a goddamn geologist. This is what I do. I do care about the environment, but I also know shit about it, so I have a special hatred for a lot of these people. Anyway, please continue.
Oh, dude. I was actually...
Wait, can you guys actually hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
That's what the biggest question.
You're roboting fucking hard,
Yeah,
but yes.
I can hear you, Jables. Yeah, no, I was actually... My history degree was supposed to be a placeholder until I could get the money together to go back to college to get a geology degree. Hey. Yeah, that didn't work out, and I ended up... Yeah. And I didn't work out, and I ended up first working at a kitchen, then working at a tire shop, and then for a year and a half setting glass, and then for 6 months being unemployed, then worked at a warehouse, then I got this job, and then I found out that I had heart problems, and well, I more or less sold my soul to the company, and hey, when they sit there and worry about you, and their insurance covers your $200,000 heart surgery, you're kind of locked in there, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally get that. But, hey, heart problem dealt with, I hope.
Yeah, no, I've been good. I was talking about actually last week in the chat.
I remember seeing it in the chat.
It's
related at least in part to some of the Ritalin stuff, making it worse. I take it, or at least whatever you were taking.
Yeah. It was just basically a simple surgery, in and out. I was fine, but like I said, every so often, you get that heart rate spike, and you're sitting there like, oh God, do I have to go back to the hospital? Oh, okay, it's gone.
Is this it? Is this the day I die?
Hold on a minute, I'm coming. For those of you old enough to remember Sanford and Son.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm old enough, but I remember it.
Oh, same here. Hey, can you give me 1 second here? I am technically working.
Absolutely. So, in the second that we are giving, how do I even want to talk about this? So let's go back to Dank for a moment. Now I'm hitting that part where I finished my drink, and the euphoria and the happiness and the being up is mostly gone now. Now I just have fewer filters. I'm a little bit tired, but it's okay. I've got enough rage to sustain me through that. So, almost nothing of what I'm about to say is a joke. I don't know all of what I'm about to say, but I assure you it's not supposed to be funny. If it is, great, but I certainly hope you listen for the truth of the matter. What has happened to Dankula, Count Dankula, is... I'm not even going to say it's tragic. I mean, maybe. Maybe so. Maybe in, like, the literary sense. I find it appalling. I find it appalling because I've come to the belief that democracy and freedoms and rights die in one of two ways. They either die in applause or they die in silence. You know, there isn't the uproarious populace fighting against the tyrant as their democracy gets crushed. Generally speaking, not. Or if there is, they're being drowned out by the applause of the people who welcome the new tyrant. So we've got a whole lot of people applauding. We've got a whole lot of people who might look at this Dankula thing and say, yes, offensiveness is bad. We need to stop it. We need to make it illegal. If I'm offended, then you have committed violence against me. Without getting into all the ridiculousness of that, you've got some people applauding who are happy about it. And you've got some of us who are not happy about it, or maybe a little vocal. We're talking about it online. We'll make YouTube videos, talk to our friends, say, hey, did you hear about this Dankula thing? Yeah, it's really bad. It's a shame free speech is dead in Scotland. But you know what? Just like with every election, as Hillary and any other losing candidate has complained before, there are a whole lot of people who just aren't even going to step up to the plate. They're going to tell themselves, they're going to sip their drink, they're going to say, well, that doesn't concern me. They're going to tell themselves that doesn't matter. They're going to tell themselves that rioting in the streets or going out and yelling and getting angry is unseemly, and that never gets anything done, and that that's not important. Now, I'm not agitating for violence. I'm not saying that you should go out and be violent and attack people. I'm honestly not. This isn't the whole Nick thing of where I'm not saying, but seriously, I'm not advocating for that. What I am advocating for is being fucking honest. What I think you need to do is if you honestly are angry about this, don't hide it. Show it. Be angry. Be livid. Show how much this affects you. Because there's plenty of people who aren't going to see how much it affects them until they see some emotion. I intended to come at this kind of segment of things, talking about Dank and talking about what's happened, this next slight against free speech, yelling and screaming and wandering around my apartment, just yelling at this mic and hoping that it didn't hurt you guys. And I might still do that. I don't know. We'll see. It's a tragedy that Dank has been, sentenced to this, that he's probably going to be put in, I don't know how the distinction works in the UK, but prison or jail time or whatever. The fact that he's going to be incarcerated for a joke, doesn't matter how in poor taste, doesn't matter whether you thought it was funny. Point to a victim of this, point to somebody who was hurt by this, and then tell me that he intended to hurt this person. And show it to me and prove it to me, and I might agree with this. I might agree with the sentence. I might agree with this whole trial. But I've never seen any of that. I've seen people say context doesn't matter. I've seen people say that this whole thing, it's okay. You can just accept it. It's fine. It's the law. Fuck that. Sincerely, fuck that. Because you know what? The laws don't dictate morality. Morality dictates laws. Laws serve morality. If you think this is immoral, laws can be changed. Go for it. Agitate for it. This is where I might start getting loud, by the way, so you might want to turn down your headphones. But you think that this is unjust? Then show that it's fucking unjust. Go forward, go to the people who are in power, and either take them out of it or show them that you care. Because right now, all those people are sitting there getting fucking away with this. They don't necessarily think it's right. They don't necessarily want to do it. They don't necessarily care. But you know what? They damn well don't have any reason to not do it. The real tragedy here is all of the people that are going to sit here and watch and say, my, what a shame. They're not going to stand up. They're not going to do anything. This is going to be another brick in that wall that nobody wants to see go up, and yet everyone is going to just watch it happen and do nothing. You as an individual, I don't care what you think about everybody else. I don't care what you think about your own power. You can do something. Even if it's tiny, even if it's piddly, even if it feels like fucking nothing. But if you don't do it, that's on you. You were the one that sat by and watched this happen, and you will live with that guilt for the rest of your goddamn life. So do I think Dank being incarcerated is unjust? Yes, I absolutely do. Do I think that this is the kind of thing that people can do something about? Maybe, maybe not. But one of the things I've seen in a lot of these conversations between left and right and SJW and anti-SJW and feminist and MRA and all these different things is people really love to say this phrase, is this the hill you want to die on? And that's always this mocking phrase of like, oh, is this really the issue that you want to crucify yourself on? Well, you know what? Sometimes the answer is yes. Search your heart of hearts, and if the answer to that question is yes, then fucking act like it. Go out on that hill and die for what you believe in. Metaphorically or literally. Be honest. And if you don't care that much, then fucking say so. But don't pretend to be this moral, righteous person that cares so much if you're not gonna, spill any of your own damn blood for it. Get out there and do something. Get out there and say something. Put some money into the cause. Put something of yourself in the ring. Don't just watch and say it's a real shame that somebody lost. Because you know what at that point? You know what you're doing at that point? You're sitting there and watching pro wrestling. You're sitting there and watching something scripted, and you're doing nothing to change the outcome. You want to be great? You want to see the world act a certain way? Listen to Gandhi. Be the change. Fucking do it. This only happened because of a whole lot of people who didn't do anything when they saw something unjust. Now, there's plenty of people who did something. Great. And I commend you. I commend all of you. Everyone who gave money. Everyone who stood up and shouted in the street. But, I was talking to Nick about this the other night. You know what? He's mentioning Jonathan fucking Pye. Great guy. I don't agree with him on everything, but he's a funny guy. He's interesting. He managed to film a thing outside of the Scottish Sheriff's Office where, where Dank was arrested and charged. And you know what? There was no one there. No one picketing. No signs. No one standing there shouting. Nothing. This guy could walk out to the scene of the goddamn crime and there was nothing happening. Why was a comedian the only one speaking out? So please, I'm thousands of miles away. I want to do more. I'll give money. I'll do what I can. I'll raise my voice. I'll be as honest as I fucking can. But for anyone who's in more of a position to help than I am, please do something. Anyone in less of a position to help than I am, do something. Anything. 50 cents if you can spare it is still something. But don't stand there patting yourself on the back for having the right beliefs if you're not willing to sacrifice anything for them. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking liar. I'm upset. I'm not happy about this. I don't want to see things die quietly. If free speech is going to die in Scotland here, if free speech is going to die in the UK, if free speech is going to die in the world, then I think we should make damn sure that that death rattle is the loudest damn thing that the world's ever heard. I think I'm going to leave it there.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
All right, my phone's been dropping in. But no, I'm in absolute agreement with you on that one. And I mean, okay, I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not prone to doing much. But part of it, for a lot of people, is just like they didn't think this was going to happen. We who live in America, we have this thing that, oh, our First Amendment rights are great. I mean, I don't know, not to co-opt the message here, but to make the point, we have an 18-year-old kid in Florida comes out and says, I want to get rid of guns, but I think that because I'm having to carry a ID and a clear backpack, that cuts into my freedom of speech. Okay, I mean, yeah, I actually can agree with you on that one, but look at what you're doing on that one. And I love one of the great statements that was once put forward to me. He's like, seriously, I'm seriously.
I think you might have cut out there a little bit. Please repeat that.
I did. But it's like a scary thing that's been put forward, and a lot of people don't think about this. And my brother and me have these talks sometimes because he also works the night shift, and when he's bored, he calls and we talk. But we discussed the scary thing that is, I think it was the 23rd Amendment that re-legalized or made prohibition a state issue, and the terror that actually people should think of that, because the 23rd Amendment took another amendment and completely did away with it. And so the president is set to remove an amendment. There is precedent there. So if the argument can be made that the First Amendment here in the U.S. could be removed because, well, there's a calling to remove the First Amendment. And that's downright terror.
This is the backbone of one of my arguments regarding the Second Amendment. Now, as if you guys have listened to me, I find guns interesting. I think they're very interesting pieces of machinery. I don't own one. It's entirely likely I never will.
I do.
But regardless of your support of the Second Amendment, of whether or not you like guns or not, if you can get rid of the Second Amendment, if you can infringe the Second Amendment, if you can abridge the Second Amendment, if you can alter it and warp it and deform it, you can do that to any of the original 10. You might be able to argue that because of the amendments instating and then basically getting rid of prohibition, that, oh, well, those don't affect the original 10. Maybe you can make that argument. I don't like it, but for the love of God, do not erode any of the others. Regardless of how you feel about guns, there's other shit in that document that you want. Do not give interested parties the pathway to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think that's somewhat similar to what you're saying.
Yeah, it is. My phone, again, like I said, my phone just kicked me in the middle of that. But no, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I am a gun owner, and okay, so you might say I have a vested interest in the Second Amendment. Honestly, it's not something I want to see go, but like I said, what it sets the path for is not good.
On a side note, we recommended a book by Robert Heinlein earlier. I'm going to recommend another one. And any of you who have seen the movie, go ahead and read the book. It's short and it's different and it'll make you think. Starship Troopers is a phenomenal book. One of the most important lines, or just some of the most important scenes in the book, come from the memories of the main character in his moral philosophy class, in high school. And one of the statements that was brought up is the teacher, professor, whatever, says, he's talking about rights and whether or not they're guaranteed. And one of the students stands up and says something along the lines of, well, what about, the right to life? Isn't that inalienable? And this teacher stands up and he says, all right, drop a man in the middle of the ocean with sharks. How inalienable is his right to life? Put two men on an island with no food. How long, or which of their rights to life is more inalienable? Who has a greater right to life, and how long is it going to take for them to violate it for each other? You drop a man in the desert with no food and no water, those rights don't matter. Life and death matters. Rights don't exist unless you defend them. The entire Universal Declaration of Human Rights, these are not intrinsic parts of the universe. These are not things where you can walk into space and say, I have a right to life, because the universe disagrees. You're going to die in a vacuum. Your rights exist only if you defend them, only if you protect them. And when they are being assaulted, if you want to keep them, you have to do something. And if you sit there and be silent, that is a tacit agreement. That is a statement that you're okay with that loss, or that you're more okay with that loss than what it takes for you to actually defend it. Really consider how much you care about your rights and what you're willing to give up for them. Any of them. Second Amendment, First Amendment, free speech, right to bear arms, right to remain silent, right to fair trial, right to due process, right to bodily integrity, any of your rights. Seriously think about what you are willing to sacrifice to keep those for you and for anyone who comes after. And if you make the honest decision that it's not worth it to you, fine. That's your decision, that's your opinion, that's your belief. I can't fault you for that. I disagree, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But I will fight you every step of the way if you try to take away my goddamn rights. Or any of the rights of anyone I care about. And I only ask that everybody else be honest about what they desire and do the same if they find that they honestly want to keep them. Don't let these things die in applause.
Yeah, I can't say anything better than you. I mean, I seriously think we should put Starship Troopers into middle school, high school reading lists because of what it talks about. And because of the freaking philosophy matters that Heinlein breaches in it. Absolutely. I read it when I was in the 6th grade. My brother finished reading it for a book I forget what he had to do with it, but he handed me this tattered copy he'd had floating around his book bag for like 3 months, and he said, "Read this."
It's a tiny fucking book too. It's like 260 pages.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really freaking good book. It's not what you'd expect because everybody thinks, oh, it's about fighting and killing bugs. It's like, no, actually, about 60% of it, if not more, is moral philosophy.
And you know what? You can read, like, not talking about you obviously, but you can read a lot of books and you can quote a lot of things and you can say a lot of things are important. But you know what? Read these books and think about it. It's really important after reading something or hearing something to sit down, shut everything off, and just sit down and think about what the hell it means to you. Starship Troopers, it sounds like it might be a silly book. There's enough meaning in there that I would say that it rivals or perhaps exceeds To Kill a Mockingbird. Flowers for Algernon, Moby Dick, The Grapes of Wrath, Call Me Ishmael. Or, sorry, not Call Me Ishmael, just Ishmael. My bad. There's a book called that. It's a very good book, actually. So many of these books have so much to teach us, but only if we fucking listen.
Yeah.
Just...
Can you guys fucking hear me now?
Yes, we can.
We got you, Dables.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You've been out this whole time. But just... for the love of God, for the love of anything holy, whatever you regard as holy, whatever you regard as important, sacred, just inalienable. If your right to free speech is inalienable, or you believe that, then make it that way. Keep it that way. Do everything you can to keep it ironclad. Because if you don't, it's going to go away. And we're seeing that in Scotland right now.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, we all like to think Britain is like, okay, we got America, and America's one of the freest, is the freest nation in the world, and then you have Britain, which is, they're just us, but, more tea and funny accents. And Scotland's part of that. And this is actually kind of terrifying.
Not to continue to preach, but I think everyone listening, and everyone those of you who are listening, everyone everyone who cares or doesn't care about these issues, has to ask themselves, among many other important questions, how far is too far? How far do things have to get before I pick up my sword and I go and fight? And you know what? For some, how far does it have to go before I pick up the 5-pound bucket of rocks, to protect my students or my classmates or myself? It's an important question. And you know what? Maybe the answer is never. Maybe you're that kind of pacifist. And again, I won't condemn you for that. I won't fault you for that. You have to decide what you believe. But when you know that, have some goddamn conviction. I'm not going to yell anymore this stream. I wouldn't say it's out of my system, but instead of being angry in the bright and forceful way, this is more melancholic. This is more depressive. This is more a quiet and slow burn that's been going on for a long time that I've learned to come to terms with. And I sincerely hope that everybody listening doesn't do what I'm doing right now. Don't let those coals just wicker out and die, and tell yourself that being angry is a bad thing. You have to calm down. Be angry. Yell.
Waffle. Can I close out the show? Now that I'm finally back.
Yeah. I think I've said everything I need to.
All right. We have been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Things to remember. Free speech is an absolute. Fight for it within your countries. It is something that makes countries great, is the ability to talk to each other, the ability to work things out through speech. I can wave my hand around as long as it doesn't hit you. Those sorts of things. We have been your YouTube Saints. Be sure to tune in for... We have been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Be sure to tune in to the YouTube Saints, which are starting in about 5 minutes over on the YouTube Saints channel. Free speech is an absolute. Fight for your free speech. If you're in the UK, I feel really sorry for you. And I'm doing my best to spread awareness for the lack of free speech that you have. For also for our UK friends, move here to Washington State. I can connect you with a job that will give you a living wage. And with that, we have been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Let's close this motherfucker out. God damn. Technical difficulties are a bitch.
There's not going to be an outro tonight. I'm going to go ahead and leave up an image at the bottom. Hopefully you get some laughs. But you know what? I'm going to leave everything in silence. Because I think it's important for you to remember what we don't want.
Is it Count Dankula being arrested? I hope so.
No, we don't want to watch things die in silence. Yeah. You don't want to keep silent about the things that you care about. Doing that is only a disservice.
No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's keep going. What were you guys talking about while I was gone and I had technical difficulties? Let's get down to that because I heard Waffle get pretty mad. Fuck if we go over time. Fuck it. Fuck that whole outro I just gave.
I'm not going to go into all of it at the moment. It's now recorded for posterity, but
God damn it! I missed the juicy bits, I guess.
For the love, like if the whole Cliff Notes version, and I guess this is going to be my outro. Sorry, I'm probably not going to give you one tonight because your contributions have been important and meaningful, and thank you. Seriously, I do mean that. But Jabil said a lot of good stuff there. I agree with almost all of it. If you don't agree with it, here's what I care about. Here's what I value in anybody. 2 main things, maybe a third. I value your honesty with yourself and everyone else, and I value your conviction in what you believe. Be fucking honest about what you care about and what you believe. If you don't care about free speech, don't go on Facebook or to your friends, wherever, and say that this is such a tragedy if you don't believe it. Don't lie to people. You're happy about this? Fuck it. Be happy. I might hate you for it, but I won't hate you for being honest. And second, conviction. Stand the fuck up for what you believe. You believe that this is right? Stand up for it and say so. You believe that this is wrong? Stand up and say so. Do something about it. Change the world if it needs to be changed. No one's coming to save you. Nothing's going to happen if you don't make it happen. Get up and do something.
That leads into something else for me. If you think that it's fucking ridiculous to support something that somebody else that believes differently than you, like so many famous people don't agree with Tommy Robinson, but he's standing up for free speech for Count Dankula. If you are that type of person where one other person that you disagree with majorly stands up for something that you actually agree with, but you refuse to actually stand up for that right because that person that you disagree with is standing up for it, then you can go fuck yourself, and I don't want you anywhere near me, okay? I don't want you to be my friend. I don't want you in the Saints Discord. Sorry, Nick and Jeff, but I do have to say that I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't want to fucking talk to you because you have no standards for the things that you want to stand up for. Just because you disagree with somebody on a lot of other issues doesn't mean you can't unite with them on a basic principle of human rights.
Now, I might be nicer and a bit more tolerant than Jables in that. Imagine my shock. I'm usually the bad cop. If you're in the Discord and you have beliefs like that, I'll tolerate you for the most part. But you know what? If we ever talk, I don't care what anyone else believes. I don't care what you think about Trump. I don't care. Well, actually, no. I don't care what you think Trump believes. I don't care what you think or what anyone else believes. I care about you. I care about what you believe. I care about what you think. I care about how you see the world. If I want to know how Trump sees the world, I can go listen to him speak. If I want to know how Sargon sees the world, I can listen to him speak. If I want to know how Nick and Jeff see the world, I'll go watch them like in a couple minutes. I can go see that just as easily as you can. I care about you. And don't fucking hide behind other people. Be proud of who you are and show me that damn person.
And don't be fucking afraid to fight for something that you believe in just because somebody that you have other disagreements with believe in that same thing. It doesn't matter that other person. The point is we are gathering together and we are fighting for the same fucking thing, which is free speech and freedom of expression. That's what I was getting at. Forget that other fucking person and the rest of their beliefs.
I mean, fuck it. I've got a poetic way to say this.
On that main fucking thing.
Yeah, I've got a poetic way to say this. Fuck it. If you're standing there on the lines of battle for something and you're looking to either side of you or behind you, you're looking in the wrong fucking direction.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to shout anymore, but you know what? God damn it. This has me pissed off.
No,
this has me legitimately angry.
No, this whole Count Dankula situation, plus all my technical difficulties today, has pissed me the fuck off. No, the point is that there is something worth fighting for here, and we need to have that fight. I can't do much in the U.S., but I know a lot of our UK friends. You guys can. There's letter writing campaigns going on. Do all the shit that you can do legally, and get involved. There are marches that are going to go on. There's a lot of other things going on within the UK that you guys can join in on and be a positive force for expanding free speech and free expression. Be a positive influence for free speech and free expression, even though the jokes that come out might be negative.
And you know what? I'm going to undercut everything you just said, even though I agree with you. If you don't believe in that, don't go out and do it. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't be dishonest. Don't do those things that are going to make you feel guilty. You don't believe that that's right? Don't do it. But if you don't believe that that's right enough to go out and actually do something, if you don't care about it enough, don't turn around and lie to everybody else and say that you care. Show me you care. Prove to me you care. Words can lie. It's a little harder to do it with action.
Excluding people that are underage that live in the UK that can't actually go out and do things. Yes.
If you care about this and someone asks you if this is the hill you want to die on, and you really, really care about this, I fully expect you to say yes and follow through. That is a valid answer to the question. You know, for fuck's sake, this is Scotland. Be goddamn William Wallace. Paint your face blue, be a Terminator, go out there and fucking win your freedom. And if that and if you have to martyr yourself for it, fine. And you might say that, you know, I'm sitting here pretty in the US and sitting here and not doing anything. You know what? Fine. That's a fair criticism. That is absolutely a fair criticism. I'm not there. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's doing. But you know what? I know what I fucking believe. And I know what I'm willing to sacrifice for it. No, and I will never lie to you about that.
We are doing the best that we can right now, which is speaking out about it, and we are sharing the information. That is the best we can possibly do right now. Another thing is, if you are going to any of the marches, record things and record the good parts of it, because we know that your fucked up European fucking British media is going to share the worst parts of it. So make sure that you live stream and or record the best parts of it. Because I do not want to see this spun in a negative light.
Great.
And the
Put
more
this all
that,
out in the sun. Show everyone.
Yeah. The more that you record the good parts of it, the more we can drown out the bad parts of it.
Fuck it. Record everything.
They're,
Put it out. People need to see what's going on. Don't spin it. Just put it fucking out there.
Live stream it. Live stream it if you can. Do everything you fucking can. Because hashtag free Dankula. Dankula does not deserve to. Your free speech is an absolute necessity for a free society, for a nice democracy. Free speech is an absolute necessity. I don't understand how your countries have not set up laws to protect your free speech. It sounds so fucking ridiculous to me, because I grew up with the First Amendment living in America, where I can spout all my shit. I hear about things like a free speech corner in England, and no, every fucking corner is a free speech corner. You need to be able to speak what you want to speak. And you need to be willing to have anybody come up to you and negate that. And then you can have a conversation. We have a whole fucking episode about productive conversations. God fucking damn it. That's how much we believe in speech. God, where's my gun?
As I've said, I think I've said my piece here. I mean, I might be able to refine it, say more eloquently, but fuck it. You know what? I think anyone listening to this, watching it after the fact, is going to hear the passion there. They're going to hear what I care about, and I think that's as honest as I can be about it right now. I don't have anything else to say tonight. Jables, I don't know if you're good for tonight, but Sire, do you have anything?
No, man, you guys summed it up pretty good.
All right, I just want to say, Sire, you came in here, and you told, like, you sent me a message. You said, hey, if you're looking for a third wheel who doesn't know shit, you know, like you can always grab me or something along those line. You know, like, who doesn't know, I think you said, I'm free. Here's the quote. If you said I'm free if you want a third wheel who has no idea what's going on. You know what? I don't think you have no idea what's going on. And, you know, third wheel just makes it a tricycle. But you know what? Fuck it. Thank you for coming on. You know, don't denigrate yourself like that. What you've got is valuable, and keep speaking it.
I didn't get to talk to Sire. Sire, I'll talk to you later. How about that?
That's what the Discord's for. We're always around.
Yep.
No problem, guys. Thanks. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And with that, we have been your Lesser Saints of Discord. YouTube Saints should be starting now.
Yeah, they're. It says they're already live, but you know what? I think they'll forgive us just this once.
Fuck them. Let's have a crossover episode soon.
Yeah.
We've been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking and hopefully subscribing. And I hope to see future comments so we get more interactions. This has been an emotional episode for me because I am such a free speech advocate, as Waffle is also. Enjoy the Saints. Good night,
Enjoy the
guys.
Saints. We're going to close it out on that. Remember, there's no outro to remind you of exactly how we don't want free speech to die. In silence. Good night, everybody.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it's been a lovely time. I'm not going to say I've had fun, but I think this has been an important show. Good night.
Yeah.